Two souls tethered together with perfect love and perfect trust. 537 times they have found each other since the sun was born. Here are six of those times. The Lady and Her Banjo. 2 generations back, a man purchased a 5-string banjo from a shop off the side of a dirt road for his wife back home. Although happily impressed, the banjo ended up warping out of tune in their hot attic for 47 years. After those 47 years, the couple was getting ready to leave Earth soon. So, they let their granddaughter comb through what was up in that old, hot attic. There, she found a 5-string banjo, and after replacing the strings, it was good as new. She sat on her porch all day and night, learning to love her instrument more and more, and it sang its love back at her. A young man strolling along took a fancy to her and her serenade, bringing her apples and lemons from his father's trees every day. They got married a year later, but in her heart, the lady always knew that she would love no man more than her true love. The Man and His Sword. A young man lived in a small cabin with his wife and dog. For 3 gold coins smelted from the nearby river, a traveling tradesman gave him 7 ingots of iron. The man threw the ingots in a fire and mixed it with carbon to create steel. Onto his anvil, he flattened and sharpened its red-hot blade. He shined his grin back at himself. He surveilled the land through the night, and every night, yielding his beautiful lover against enemies that were never there. The man's wife pleaded to lay by his side, but he rejected such a request, for he was now with his true lover. One morning, as the man went off to bed, his wife took his sword and threw it down the well. Once the man awoke to this betrayal, and in fit of a blind rage, he threw himself down the well as well. He lasted 3 days longer and then passed along, clutching his shining lover as he parted. Mars and Venus. Venus was born from gas and dust falling in on itself to create an orb. She housed lush life of all kinds until poisonous gases suffocated her surface. 500,000,000 years later, Mars was born of the same origin. He was covered in lake beds and river valleys until he eventually dried up into a vast red desert. Venus danced around the sun at 35 kilometers per second, while Mars walked at 24 kilometers per second. Every couple of Earth years, the two aligned, exchanging their astrological energy of the divine feminine and the divine masculine. After about 10 billion years of existence, their sun eventually expanded into a red giant, just big enough to consume both Mars and Venus. Here, they melt together, touching for the first time. Then, they pass along. The Grizzly and His White Cub. A lamb was born under the new moon, beneath an apple tree. By the time the moon had waxed to full, she was all on her own, rejected by her mother. The farmer kept her well, but one night, in her sorrows, she snuck under the fence and ran off into the woods. To keep warm, she took shelter in a cave. As the sun crested the horizon, the lamb woke to a large snout nudging at her ribs. She looked up to see a huge grizzly bear towering above her. She was not scared, as they both felt familiar. The bear raised this white cub as his own and kept her safe from the wolves who circled the land at night. One night, after a long day hunting salmon in the river, the bear failed to make it back to the cave before sundown. The next morning, he found the wolves had gotten to his white cub. He stayed at her side until he too left this earth. The Girl and Her Bird. In a depressive episode of young heartbreak, a girl went to her local pet shop and purchased a small white and brown mouse. The girl hoped this mouse would fix her life and rid her of her sorrows, and she did. They loved each other very much, and the girl would feed her little mouse popcorn and worms. What the girl didn't realize was that her little mouse was born ill, and when medication didn't work, she had to be put to rest after just 7 months on Earth. 2 days later, the little mouse was reborn, with blue feathers and wings, and 2 months after that, the girl and her love were reunited. The Woman and Her Snake. A baby was born in a small hut off the coastal shore during a months-long flood. With the immediate recession of the water back to the sea, the baby was deemed powerful. Due to this, she was raised out of her poverty and settled into her role as the jewel-covered high priestess of the Moon Lodge. Her prophecies proved truthful and soared across the land. One night, a snake slithered her way into the lodge and into the hay of the woman's bed. Although the overcast skies caused the lodge to be silent and blind, the woman knew that her snake had finally come. She enchanted the snake with her lyre, and she soon was the woman's familiar. They protected each other. After 20 years together, an oil lamp tipped over in the lodge, setting it ablaze, the scent of myrrh suffocating. They had both seen this outcome in a scrying bowl years prior. Once again, they left this earth.